We gotta hear this again. Did y'all hear what Trump just pulled off? If this is real.
From the 100.
Oh my God.
That's all. But yeah, let's go.
It says it has agreed to a new framework for a trade deal with China. This is expected to pave the way for a long-term trade agreement between the world's two largest economies. The talks come as a new report shows inflation ticked up slightly last month. ABC's Christian Cordero has the details on that deal.
After 2 long days of negotiations between U.S. and Chinese trade officials in London and a phone call between Presidents Trump and Xi last week, leaders from both sides today are touting a new handshake deal.
We have agreed to fully comply with the Geneva Agreement as well. So the president is reviewing the details of that with his trade team now, and you'll hear more from him.
On social media, Trump says imports from China will now be subject to a hefty 55% tariff, though down from the 145% tax Trump announced in the height of his trade war. U.S. imports to China will face a 10% tariff, down from 125%. The negotiations come amid...
Y'all heard that? So Trump, the 55% tariffs of Chinese imports. But did y'all hear the other part?
Tax Trump announced in the height of his trade war.
Here it is right here.
U.S. imports to China will face a 10% tariff, down from 125%.
Trump got the tariffs. Hold on. We gotta hear this again. Did y'all hear what Trump just pulled off? If this is real.
From the 145% tax Trump announced in the height of his trade war. U.S. imports to China will face a 10% tariff, down from 125%.
So U.S. imports into China, we're paying 125%. I don't even think most people knew that. I didn't know that. So when Trump was saying these numbers that everybody thought was outrageous as far as us charging China, did anybody know that we were paying 125%? He got it down to 10%. And I want to hold on. I gotta let me finish the video, because this entire issue, I think this issue with China says a lot about American society. And this is the epiphany that I was talking about when we first started the show that I had, that it may not be an epiphany for y'all. But to me, I thought it was like, wait, what? But I'm gonna watch the rest of this, or at least a couple more seconds, and then I'm looking forward to having this final combo with y'all.
The negotiations come amid an uncertain economic forecast. A new report easing some concerns as inflation ticked up slightly as expected, 0.1% over 1 month, up 2.4% since 1 year ago.
Most importantly, we are decelerating cost increases for shelter, food, and energy.
Most of Trump's tariffs are on pause pending negotiations, and most economists agree an increase in tariffs will lead to an increase in prices on everyday goods. As for the deal with China, the administration says it also reversed course on Trump's threat to revoke visas for Chinese students. And the president adds China has agreed to supply key rare earth minerals up front, used in everything from cell phones to car batteries.
What's so funny is I could tell that this is a liberal outlet, which I'm very happy, because it gives me a chance to respond. The first thing, listen to what they say.
An increase in tariffs will lead to an increase pending negotiations, and most economists agree an increase in tariffs will lead to an increase in prices on.
Most economists agree that an increase in tariffs will agree to an increase in prices. We went over this over and over. An increase in price for products that are being imported in from China is beneficial for American-made products. The reason why we go with supporting the Chinese, the country of China, over supporting America is because they are able to make products. First and foremost, want to give a huge shout out to everybody that continues to tap in with us, like and subscribe and join our community. If you haven't already, please make sure that you do. We look forward to engaging in some dope combo with you that can help us all elevate. So like, subscribe, and maybe even share the video if you're feeling real generous. On that note, we'll let you get back to the video. See you soon. Using labor that is illegal in America. We're purchasing products that are made with illegal practices as far as if those practices were done in America. They're presenting this in a way as if, oh, well, this is going to drive prices up. No, it's going to drive prices up that come from products in China, and it's only going to drive prices up to the consumers if the companies decide to not take on and absorb the extra cost in the tariffs. And what have a lot of these companies been saying that they're doing? They're going to absorb the cost. So this is a very biased report, but the fact that it's very biased report, and they still, in my opinion, said very favorable things about what Trump's plan would do, I'm feeling good about it. Now, this is one other thing that I wanted to address.
Everyday goods. As for the deal with China, the administration says it also reversed course on Trump's threat to revoke visas for Chinese students. And the president adds China.
So they're reversing the threats about revoking the visas. I'm assuming that a lot of Dems and liberals will be happy about that.
Has agreed to supply key rare earth minerals up front.
China's supplying key rare earth minerals up front.
Used in everything from cell phones to car batteries. China has not specified the terms it agreed to.
Are we clapping for Trump? Before you clap for Trump, let me finish it off with this. So this is the epiphany that I had. America is a country of suckers. China is a country of hustlers. What do I mean by that? In every community, the people that sell are the hustlers. Those are the people that are in control, the people that sell the products. And they manipulate and market to consumers so the consumers can get excited about purchasing the products. Those are seen as the suckers. You ever bought a car and felt like, oh, yeah, I got finesse, and you know you got taken advantage of? You feel like a sucker. America is a country of consumers. Consumers buy things. What's the number one reason why people buy things? Emotions. You see something on Instagram, it grabs your emotions, you want to buy it. You see that commercial late night of Hardee's and the terrible burger that they're making, unhealthy, and you want to buy it. Emotions. Consumers are ran on emotions. Sellers run consumers by using the logic of the seller to tap into the emotions of the consumer, the sucker, the buyer. We've been focused this entire time on how the price would be affected of the things we purchase from another country, and supporting their country more than we've been focusing on the deficit and the fact that that country does not purchase anything from us. Think about that. We are more concerned. We see the world through a consumer. So it's very hard when Trump is speaking from the perspective of a seller. Trump is a businessman. Elon Musk is a businessman. They look at things through a perspective of the seller. But Americans, see, people who are buyers, those are people that live in poverty. That is why some of the most impoverished communities go to their schools. They purchase they spend money on the most extravagant things. Cats in the Hood always got the latest clothing, latest Jordans, latest this. Why? Because they are emotional beings, and it makes them feel good about their low self-esteem or whatever else they got going on when they wear certain things that make them look like they have money. It's an emotional thing. It's an emotional buy. When you buy that same t-shirt that costs $5, and it's the same exact t-shirt, but they put a brand on it, and now you're willing to spend $300 on that t-shirt, and it's probably worth it to you because when you put on that $300 shirt, you actually feel better about yourself. The women now look at you and think that you're 3 inches taller than you were. When you pull up in that nice car that you can't afford, that we can't afford, I'll put myself in the category. It is what it is. I'm talking about overall, us as consumers. We overspend because of the emotions that are attached with us purchasing these products relating to our self-esteem. And this particular issue with China and the US highlights those things. Here, Donald Trump said that he brought down the import tariffs that we have to pay to sell our products in China from 100 and something to 10%. And we're not excited about that because we don't look at ourselves as sellers. Everything we do is look at ourselves as the buyers. See, if we were sellers, we would be understanding and exhibit more sympathy and empathy. Since sympathy and empathy seems to come up, we'd have more sympathy and empathy for American companies. Right? So although all the Democrats and liberals, they complain about the Republicans always creating tax benefits for the rich, for the wealthy, if there were not the rich and the wealthy who accumulate a lot of their rich and wealth, let's say through having companies and building businesses, if they were not building those businesses, what would we do? Where would we work? Because the majority of Americans are not sellers, so you're not going to get out there and sell something. The majority of Americans pretty much pimp themselves out. We pimp ourselves out with these 9-to-5s. That's all we do. We are literally our own pimp. We are trading our time, effort, energy. We are trading ourselves. Rather than selling a product, we're selling ourselves. That's why you have to get up miserable early, go to work, be around people that you're miserable with, and sell somebody else's product who had the balls and had the courage to go out there and be an entrepreneur and create a company and take all the risks that come with that so you can have the comfort of your 9-to-5. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just speaking it for what it is. I've done it. I still do it in some ways. I haven't jumped out the window like I should have. I'm telling y'all, I'm speaking to myself first and foremost. I'm speaking to myself first and foremost. I'm speaking to myself first and foremost. Let me Dr. Umar it and say it 3 times just to make sure it's clear to y'all. These companies, if they were not producing jobs for us, what would we do? China, they're a country of sellers. They look at Americans as suckers. That's why what Unc wrote earlier when he talked about Chinese controlling a lot of, I think you were talking about the marijuana farms in California. That's why Chinese, when you go to the Caribbean, when you go to Africa, because they are sellers. They see opportunities where we're just trying to buy stuff. We're looking for the cheapest product to buy, but if we adjusted ourselves to a seller mindset, we'd have more sympathy and empathy for the American companies that produce products here, going along with the labor laws that America has that they know that they can't compete with the prices of China because China's labor laws are totally different. Maybe we'd have some sympathy and empathy. And instead of seeing all these products when we go to the store at Target or Home Goods or wherever else we're going, and it says woman owned and black owned, maybe we'd feel more pride when it says American made, USA, made in the USA. But we don't, because we're suckers. We're emotional. We're consumers. We're not logical like the people that sell stuff. We're emotional buyers. If I just said that wrong, y'all know what I mean. Think about that. This is why we can't appreciate some of the things that we're doing, because we're speaking totally different language. The language that somebody who buys, the language of a consumer is totally different than the language of a seller. It says a lot about our country, and it says a lot about our perspectives, and it says a lot. So let me get back to what I was saying about pimping. We pimp ourselves out. We're no different than a pimp with a prostitute. We just do it with ourselves. Rather than sell our own product. See, a pimp doesn't sell its own product. Well, their product is the woman, I guess. You know what I'm saying? So rather than have let me rephrase that. Rather than us selling something outside of ourselves as a product, we pimp ourselves. We sell ourselves. Hey, I'll trade you. You can have me from 9 to 5 every day. As long as you give me a check every 2 weeks, you can have me. I'll do whatever it is that you tell me to do. You can have me perform these duties that we agree with. I will commit this time and effort to you as long as you give me my check every 2 weeks. Rather than a selling mindset is, oh, nah, I'm not going to sell myself. I'm not going to sell my time, effort, and energy. I'm going to sell this product. People need products. People need water. I'll sell water. People need yoga mats. I'm going to sell yoga mats. People need microphones. I'm going to sell microphones. People need hats. I'm going to sell clothes. But no, we just trade our time for money. We're pimping ourselves. So the pimp doesn't speak the same language as the prostitute. So I don't expect us to speak the same language when one side is speaking the language from a seller and the other is speaking language from a buyer. And I may be saying things that are going over your head, my head, maybe under our head. I don't know. Maybe it's not making any sense. But to me, this is the understanding that I had as far as why our country is so divided on something that seems to be such common sense. We're more pissed off at Trump using tariffs to incentivize companies to have more factories here and to leverage and have this deficit that China benefits from so we could sell more of our products to China in a fair trade. We're more upset at Trump complaining about, oh, well, what if the price goes up? Well, maybe we shouldn't purchase those products. Maybe we should buy from companies that are either willing to absorb those profits or absorb the cost of the tariffs, or companies that are just American made. Companies that are here in America feeding the American economy. We claim we love America, but are feeding the Chinese economy. We're fighting. We're hustling backwards. We're hating Trump, getting mad at Trump for trying to give the United States of America a better deal in a very unfair trade deal that we have with China. But oh wait, it's not what he's doing. It's how he's doing it, right? So we'll get more upset for Trump for how he's doing it, rather than the fact that the other people that you voted for years didn't try to do anything. They complained about the issue. Nancy Pelosi complained about the issue. We showed the clip. Bernie Sanders complained about the issue. But what have they done? And that's the difference that I'm seeing that happens when it comes to a lot of the things that Trump is pushing. That's why when I asked Vons earlier, you said Trump sends the same text. All politicians do that. Yeah, well, we know where Trump stands. Do we know where Gavin Newsom stands? Do we know where Kamala Harris stands? Do we know where Joe Biden stands? I was about to make a joke. We don't even know where Barack Obama. And Queez just summed it up. And I'm getting out of here. I'm talking too much. Queez said, now Americans have a problem with spending more. LOL, that has been our culture. We love spending more. We talk shit about spending more. Yo, I paid a lot for that. Da-da-da-da. Meanwhile, the sellers and the other folk, they trying to pay less. We over here bragging about paying more. We have a messed up mentality, and that's what it is. Hopefully, y'all took heed to what I'm saying. The last thing before I'll go, I'll finish up with, because I wanted to speak about this earlier. Let's I'm trying to, I know I'm about to make a harsh pivot, but it is what it is. It's already 10:40. Appreciate y'all tapping in this long. Violence only begets more violence. I think there's an onus and responsibility on all of us to address the violence that is happening within ourselves, within our community, within our states, countries, and maybe how our stances impact other things throughout the world. Now, I'm not saying that we should be going to the Middle East and having picket signs, like protesting like they're doing in LA. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is that I think a lot of times we justify and rationalize violence when it's in our best interest or connected with something that we believe in, when in all actuality, it doesn't matter who starts the violence. As soon as violence is started, it's the beginning of the end. perhaps we should call out certain aspects of our religions, certain aspects of our cultures, and certain aspects of anything else that guides us in this world. Because I don't know how y'all feel about it, but it makes me very uncomfortable when I hear about different countries dropping bombs. It makes me uncomfortable about when I see and realize that America, it seems like they're trying to stage this race war. It makes me uncomfortable because to me, it's the most ungodly thing that you can do. And religion is supposed to, and this is why I'm calling out religion, because religion, they sell a particular product. Now, you could say religions are not selling. They push a particular product based on God, right? And a lot of religions say that God is here for all of us, right? We all are children of God. So if we're all of children of God, if we all are truly children of God, then how does any religion embrace, tolerate, or even promote violence when you know that that is the beginning of the end for humanity? How could we embrace any religion that justifies and rationalizes religion, or I'm sorry, that justifies and rationalizes violence when violence is the most ungodly thing, one of the most ungodly things, right, that we can do as humanity? So whether you're Christian, Jewish, Buddhist, Muslim, across the board, I'm just asking us to maybe think about it a little bit, because perhaps the most amount of violence in the history of our world has been committed behind religion. People trying to control people with their particular way of life and trying to push it on other people. Now, am I sitting here saying that there doesn't need to be guidelines, there doesn't need to be borders, there doesn't need to be rules? I'm not saying that at all. But perhaps we need to be reminded of the golden rule. Treat others the way that we want to be treated. Treat others the way that we want to be treated. Perhaps that's the rule that should be prioritized and take precedent over the other ones. Because I just don't I don't see this ending well when violence is justified on any front. So you take it however you want to take it. And speaking of selling, I'm sending everybody a link. Everybody a link. Matter of fact, can everybody drop me their email? And I'm going to tell you why I want to drop me your email address if you're comfortable with, or send us a DM at the OG Network, whatever it is. I'm getting ready to go into full sales mode. And the thing that I'm selling is overall wellness, lifestyle, elevating lifestyle, all these different things. Being a better however it is, bringing different types of people in the room, but an emphasis on mind, body, soul. And I know I'm pivoting all over the place, but this is what I'm getting ready to start doing. We do stuff on YouTube for free. What I'm getting ready to do is start a Patreon. We already created it, and that's going to be accessible to people, whoever wants to sign up. I think we're doing it at $10 a month. This feels like one of those commercials, like sales calls, where they get you to get excited in the first part of it, but then afterwards, yeah, we keeping that energy. It is what I'm a seller. I'm a seller. And the only thing that's bad about a seller is when you don't deliver on a certain value. So I know for $10 a month, I'll be able to deliver that value. And it's mainly focused on the things that I like to do. The things that people reach out to me. Yo, what workouts you doing? Yo, what you been eating? Well, I just eat what I eat. All right. You want me to break it down for you? You want me to write you a whole meal? Yeah, that's well, hey, $10. So we're pretty much we're putting out our Patreon to focus on different things that we may not talk about on YouTube, and things that are more specific, where we'll have our wake up calls that we used to do. We'll have and if we're in person between New York, New Jersey, and Miami, we'll have different meetups. We'll have a newsletter every month that has a meal plan, a fitness challenge, and some financial advice that people can tap into, professional development. We're going to have all these things. So when y'all get the link and I'm asking y'all to support it, y'all know exactly what it is, or you'll learn exactly what it is. But we're going to really push overall wellness, And wellness, the reason why I hesitate because wellness captures so many different areas, but just elevating, our mindset, having more specific conversations about relationships, bringing different people on that can give us some positive advice on how to have healthy relationships, all these different things. And the main thing that I would love to do, and I think Unc just mentioned it, is bring other people on to get involved. And coach, let's run it up together. Let's run it up together. Y'all already know Queez is going to be involved. Y'all already know Queez is going to be involved. There's too many people that I have close to me in my life that want to provide valuable information and can provide valuable information and pass it along to people that we can benefit from without me sharing it. So, like anything else, you got to get paid for it because that's the only way that you're going to be able to promote it the right way, pay people the right way, and to make the impact that we're looking to make. So, on that note, that's what we're doing. Like, subscribe. Now we got the most important part of the show. Now that we got that out of the way, 45 seconds where we always take at the end of every show. Get your breath work in, meditate, manifest, whatever it is that you need to do. You know, we set out every Sunday and Monday to make this our greatest week ever. So to do so, maybe you got a chance. Maybe it's fourth quarter. Maybe it's overtime. However you see it, we're going to win the day. So close your eyes if you need to. 45 seconds, clear our mind. Everything that we just discussed over the last 3 hours, if it doesn't pertain to us winning the week in our own personal battle, because just like in sports, okay, to contribute to the team, you got to win your one-on-one battle. And if the entire team wins their one-on-one battles and helps each other out, then we all can elevate. So let's make sure that we're focusing on us winning the week and not getting caught up in all these distractions that we've just spent almost 3 hours talking about. It's cool to spend time talking about it, but then let's actually get to what's going to make the impact and make the difference in real time for all of us. So take 45 seconds starting now. You can close your eyes. You can keep them open, whatever it is that's best for you. Every exhale, we're exhaling all the BS. Every inhale, we're inhaling all the positive energy, and that starts now. And I just hold on real quick. So Mo Crush. So our show that we do on YouTube is Mondays and Fridays at 8 a.m. And then if you go on Instagram and you follow us or you send me your email, I can get you the information for what we're doing on Patreon. But tap in with us every 8 a.m. Monday and Friday, whenever you can. We usually go for about 2 hours, but sometimes, especially on Fridays, it goes a little bit longer. So let's build. And I love this right here. I love this. Unc said, I really enjoyed talking to you, Mo. Thank you. This is what it's all about. Unc and I aren't going to agree on everything. And if you look at the show, it may look like Unc and I disagree on more than we agree on. That's not the case. We agree on far more than we disagree on. But if you agree on it, like if a player's doing all the right things, then yes, let them know, hey, we're doing all the right things, but let's address the areas that we need to improve on. So the things that we're not seeing eye to eye on, let's bring the perspectives together so we can learn and understand the problem from different perspectives. So that way we can present a solution that works out best for the majority of us. All right. So 45 seconds starting now. All right, one last exhale, exhaling all the negative, inhaling all that positive, all the positive. Smile when you inhale all that positive, appreciative of the air that we can inhale, appreciative of this life that we have, that we can do anything we want, appreciative of the country that we're living in, the state that we're living in, whatever circumstances we are, grateful of that. So therefore, we're putting out the right energy. We're putting out the right energy to welcome more positivity in our lives because we need it. All right. Y'all know we come here to do elevate on purpose, both from an intentional standpoint, raising our standards to become the best leaders we can become, and also to become the individuals that we need to grow into to accomplish these amazing goals that we set for that hopefully align with our overall purpose as we pursue what we like to call purposeful abundance, strength, and honor, onward and upward. Y'all know what it is when I say get to that bag. If you don't, I mean all the things that are aligned with us being on the proper trajectory to that purposeful abundance and striving to make as great of an impact as we can with our personal legend. All right. So what's in your bag is in your bag. What's in my bag, the things that I focus on, the wins that I'm collecting along the way, or at least the compass that I'm using to guide me in this world: peace, love, happiness, health, wealth, and in everything we do, integrity. And Queez just sent the fire emojis. So I see y'all. Y'all have a great weekend. Love y'all and appreciate all y'all. Vons, you need to check, bro. We got to get Vons a check. We running it up, but we got to get Vons a check, a mic, and a camera. And I'm serious about that. But I love my bros. I love all y'all. Appreciate y'all, and I'll see y'all soon. Ew.